Pinwheel Forest. Bug-type Pokemon can be found all over Pinwheel Forest. By the way, it never bugs me to see bug-type Pokemon. I am my mother's child. I've definitely fixed a problem on this team now. Harmony is gonna be a lot stronger going forward. We're not gonna have to worry about her just barely not KOing things. I think that the Life Orb is a 30% damage increase in return for recoil damage on every hit. I like how I don't even freak out at proteins anymore because I already got maxed out effort values on all of my Pokemon in any way that I would care to. What I wanna do is let my Repel Rare out. There's an HP up. I guess maybe I will train up some other Pokemon at some point for various metal-related purposes. Get a Nugget. Gonna need to spend lots of money going forwards. That's exciting. Oh, hey, I guess I didn't have a Repel active the whole time. That is the longest time any human has ever gone without getting a random encounter in a Nintendo DS Pokemon game. I promise. That is solid scientific evidence that you would have to be some kind of moron not to believe. Harmony takes out Girder in 1 hit. We're gonna need that power by our side if we're gonna have any chance against Marshall. He's got Stone Edge on his side. We need to take him out the first hit every time. He's dangerous. Let's get into a trainer battle while we're at it, hell yeah. Oh my Pokemon seem raring to go today. So I guess that means I'll be asking you for a battle. So I haven't exactly kept this a secret, but I've been going through a lot. I've had a lot going on in my personal life. To name one thing, I was in the hospital the other night for some back pain that was excruciating. I thought a nerve was getting pinched or something. Basically an exercise set off something, and yeah, it just kind of happens from time to time when you try to be fit. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Doesn't mean I shouldn't exercise or anything like that, far from it. In fact, I've been cleared for exercise right away, but yeah, and then I was put onto some drowsy medication to help me get better, and then I, possibly because of that medication, I knocked over a soda onto my keyboard and wrecked it, and had to go to the store during Christmas rush times to get a new keyboard. It's just been a lot of not very fun stuff, but I've decided here and now, I'm not communicating this to anybody but you in this recording, and no one else is going to see this until, you know, it goes up, so I'm kind of affirming this in a time capsule. I refuse to let this day get any worse. I was on my way home, and I think to myself, I am going to go home, I am going to play this game that I love, and I am going to have a good time. That is what I have decided here and now, and I just don't want to do anything else. I just want to play this fun game that I have a good time doing. Our team is stronger than ever. We had a good start, taking out those subway bosses. I think we're gonna do it. Toxicroak, I like you very much. We'll go for a Volt Switch, just get the hell out of here. And all I really need to do is resist your attack. It doesn't really seem to matter who I hit you with. Lasagna's got Earthquake now. That sounds like a good risk to me. You actually do resist poison and normal, so both of those could be helpful against Toxicroak. Poison Jab! Look at that, Lasagna, you actually... There's toxins in the lasagna, no. Using flatter. That's a rare move. You don't see that every day. That ups special attack and gives confusion. Confusion is based on your attack. Oh, I forgot I had that! You fool! Anyway, confusion is based on attack, so it's kind of an objectively worse version of Swagger. You're giving your opponent help without the potential to have them hurt themselves more in confusion. So I don't see any reason why you would really run that. There could be a good reason for it that I just haven't found yet, so maybe don't take my words as fact, but if you can think of a use for Flatter, I'd really like to hear it. For all I know, it was played in VGC. Is this the wild Pokemon that I want? No, not quite. Actually, crap, yes it was. I want to catch a Palpitoad in this area. Ah, you could see me. I test the challenge rock by my fist every day. It is important to make steady progress, little by little. Harmony got to level 67 off of a team of 3 easy fighting types. I still have not tried hard enough. What she says is the case. We can go up to this, the challenge rock. Would you like to have Pignati smash the rock? Let's see how you do. Try your luck. A piece of the rock broke away. Stardust. This can be attempted once daily, and you get various items off of it, various ores. I believe that you can get star pieces, maybe even comet shards from it. I freaked out when I learned about this in research, going like, oh wow, shoot, did I even point this out in the first game? And I went back and I watched my video in the first game to see if I said anything about it, and I made a huge deal about how I couldn't believe that was actually a thing and I didn't know it before that video either. It happens. I don't remember every single detail about these videos. Heck, it scares me sometimes though, because you guys are like, wait a minute, you said this all those years ago, and I'm like, you remember this stuff better than I do. Remember to pack an antidote. We'll go over this way. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't want to go into the city just yet. I want to get this Ultra Ball. And somewhere on this route is something that I have missed. Let me see if I can find it. Wasn't what I thought I missed, but there's a max elixir out here. Can't call that useless. That'll be really useful for some medals that we've yet to challenge. While I was looking for it, I found the palpitations. I want to catch you, as you have a various purpose. We heard about a guy in the world who wants to see a temple a while back in Opalucid City. We can't catch wild temples in this adventure, I don't think, but we could catch a Palpitoad and do something with that. 1, 2, 3, collect. Palpitoad, the vibration Pokemon. It lives in the water and on the land. It uses its long, sticky tongue to immobilize opponents. Just not on me, please. I got into a battle with Kentaro here on the way. It's Kentaro time, Kentaro. I'm gonna make an example out of this guy. So, a lot of trainer battles in this area, a lot of trainer battles just in general, it's gonna be 2 weak Pokemon, 1 strong Pokemon. This is why Metronome is so good in single player, not the move, the item. If you could just keep using, okay, I can't really use the same move over and over again, so maybe it wasn't the best example of that, but if you can keep using the same move over and over again against his weak first Pokemon and then have it ready to go for a second one, maybe even using a move that's not type effective, but you're sure is going to be type effective on their last Pokemon, especially if you've played before, you can keep buffing your power over and over again so that it just isn't an issue. He sent us out his Pokemon in a weird order, but you get what I mean. A lot of trainers have just got a lot of weak Pokemon and then one really strong one at the end. Because of that pattern, Metronome is a surprisingly good item for that, and I learned that while learning to speedrun Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Yeah, even though I lost, I'm energetic. You keep on keeping on, man. Yes, it was over this way, right behind him. Find an arrow pathway. This is a rather important hidden grotto. Some of the best Pokemon you can see, and I didn't find any of them. I get regular repel. I'm selling that. I don't want that taking up space in my free space. Screw that. As for the Pokemon you can find in this place, holy crap. Here. Let's just get to it. Hariyama with Sheer Force. Sheer Force is a weird ability. It can remove negative held item effects too, but only if a move's effect was suppressed that turn as well. I think it might be kind of a mistake. This could be used for moves like Force Palm, but not a lot else. This isn't exactly a Pokemon that inflicts status or flinch much. It's pretty slow too. My first question was close combat, and self-stat dropping does not count as a secondary effect for this. Bagon with Sheer Force. This looks just as useless as Hariyama, but wow, did this thing get a glow up. Sheer Force turns into Moxie. Just imagine Salamence getting even more attack every time it scores a knockout. Who seriously keeps looking at Salamence and saying, oh yeah, that guy needs a buff? They've buffed Salamence like 5 times now, present day. Medicham with Telepathy, useless outside of the rare double or triple battle. Consider it if you're doing facilities, but probably not over other things that also have it. Poliwhirl with Swift Swim. It evolves into Poliwrath with Swift Swim, so no one cares. It evolves into Politoed with Drizzle, so everyone cares. Weather summoning abilities that complement a team are so much of the meta in this era of Pokemon. But you are correct. It is a 1% chance. It's only worth it if it just happens to appear. In addition to a 1% encounter rate, 5% of the time it has a King's Rock to make evolving into Politoed even easier. You're not gonna get this, but if you're one of the lucky few, take it if you get it. Get the Poliwhirl, get the Poliwhizzle, or something. Welcome everybody to Nacrene City. I heard there's a cafe in Amethyst where Pokemon can eat. Maybe I should try to see how it compares to the cafe warehouse. Yeah, our cafe has gotten so popular that it's spread all the way to other cafes. My accordion's heavy, it weighs over 20 pounds. Oh, fitting in a video where I made a Weird Al reference, this guy shows up. The cafe here. Welcome to Cafe Warehouse, a stylish cafe in a rural area. I like Nacrene's Cafe Warehouse and Striden's restaurant too. Each offers such different flavors. Cafe has specials on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Unfortunately, it's Sunday, so I won't be able to do that just yet. I've been getting really, really heavy, but I just can't stop getting seconds. Who was it? Who used the move Encore on me? Some things may be famous and good, but some good things aren't famous. What matters is whether you like them, don't you agree? I can't stand how much the popularity of things factors into how much people will like things or not. I'm like, man, just like things. And if you find talking about it on the internet annoying, just don't talk about it on the internet. Just enjoy your thing, man. You can do that. I think customer had a brown Pokemon that could use Super Fang. I'm the kind of person who instantly forgets about these kinds of things. If you don't mind, would you look for the owner of the handkerchief? Thank you. I'll let you hang on to it. Each day we get lots of different customers, so all you gotta do is ask them. Dang, is this thing for like a legendary Pokemon? The grubby hanky? Ew, no. All right, so it's not you, and it's not you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for it to be Wednesday and I'm gonna come back. Oh. Wednesday. Well, our cafe has a special on Wednesdays. Here, have a soda pop. Enjoy the taste of our specialty. Thank you, that's nice. These three don't change, but this clown down here does. You're looking for someone who lost something? Aren't you nice? Muna isn't brown though, so it must be a different customer. I think I might have seen someone with a brown Pokemon on Thursday. Thursday! Oh boy, you have excellent taste in Pokemon, my friend. Train whatever you want. Huh, did I lose something? Hey, that's the handkerchief, it's mine! Thank you so much for finding that for me. I need that handkerchief so I can wipe Betread's cheeks after it eats berries. You took a Pokemon that I absolutely despise and made it kind of wholesome. But we're not done yet. We gotta go talk to that waitress again. Sunday! What? You found the customer who lost his handkerchief? It was the person with the Betret, you say? What a relief, thank you so much. Here, this is for you. Fluffy tail. Work is so much fun. I mean, I get to meet so many people in Pokemon. She'll have another fluffy tail for you every Sunday after you've accomplished that. It's very pointless. Rail line was abandoned and the storehouse went unused. Then young people with artistic aspirations started renting them cheaply as art studios. If people hadn't been so creative, Pokemon might be living here now. Aw, that's cool. I like it when people refurbish something that would have been bad for the environment or something like that. It's been 2 years since I opened up business. I want to thank everyone. I'm doing great. Welcome, how may I help you? You're a mart. You sell X items, which I don't need because I own my own X item selling store that gives them for better stuff. Hey, trainer, the move I recommended for you is none other than Wonder Room. Wonder Room swaps defense and special defense for all Pokemon 5 turns after it's used. The best choices for attack and defense change completely, depending on when other physical or special moves are effective. Is that a good use for Flatter? Maybe it would be, huh? I'm the master move tutor, and I'm obsessed with green shards. He completes the quadrology of move tutors with each of the shards. He can teach you Worry Seed, which will change the target's ability to Insomnia. Could possibly be good for overriding an ability that you really do not want to see, as abilities can be pretty dangerous. Swapping out will reset the ability, however. Gastro Acid suppresses the ability of the target. Helping Hand boosts the power of an attack by double whoever is targeted. Useful for double battles, useless in single battles. After you. The user helps the target, makes it use its move right after the user. Basically, if you're faster than your ally, you can artificially make your ally faster instead of doing another move that turn. It's something, I guess. Again, not useful outside of double battles, but it could be useful. I always thought after you was, you would use the same move as your opponent after they had just used it on you or something, because it just sounds like that's what it would do, and I was always so confused why it failed all the time when this game first came out. Magic Room. The user creates a bizarre area in which Pokemon's hell items lose their effect for 5 turns. This could be all right, I guess. Like, If we're talking competitive or battle facilities, sure, but in single player, it's so rare they ever use held items against you, so I probably wouldn't consider this. Wonder Room. We just heard about that. Swaps defense and special defense for 5 turns, all Pokemon. Spite. Lowers the PP of the last move used by 4 on the target. Recycle. Brings back a consumed held item so that it may be used again. Some berries do this. There's some berries that'll buff your stats if your HP is low and things like that, and this can be useful for strategies like that if you're willing to use consumables. It's just, again, more useful in battle facilities or versus when you get it back. Trick. Swaps items with the target. This can be useful for forcing bad held items onto your opponent. You're so unlikely to have the held item that you specifically want just happening to be on your opponent's team, so probably not the most useful for that, but could be useful for forcing bad stuff onto them. You get your held item back after the fight's over as long as it's a trainer battle. Be warned that wild Pokemon battles, you don't get the item back. It's a lot better to use it in wild battles to steal a wild hell item. Stealth Rock. Here's a big one. This move is not the best in single player. It does 1/8 of your opponent's health whenever they send out a Pokemon. This becomes a quarter if they are weak to rock and half if they are quad weak. Against certain teams, it's devastating, but it really shines in versus when people are switching out their Pokemon all of the time. A surprising number of Pokemon can learn it, including our Lizani here. I'm a little surprised that Pignati and Jade can't get it, because the move pool for it is pretty big. This move is one of the most controversial of all time. A lot of people arguing that it makes the game less fun, making it so that you can use significantly fewer Pokemon than if this move just didn't exist. Outrage is a powerful physical dragon-type move that will attack for 2 to 3 turns, but you'll confuse yourself. That's 120 power versus Dragon Claw's measly 80. This move is actually kind of worth it. I still have my Dragon Gem equipped. I might want to take that off so I don't accidentally consume it. I'm giving Jade the Person Berry, and we're gonna try this out. Dragon Claw is easy enough to relearn as it's a leveling up move. The thing about this move is that it fell off a lot once fairy types are introduced. It's just too damn risky to be locked into only being able to use a dragon type attack for 2 to 3 turns when your opponent could just swap into a fairy type or revenge kill you with one easily. But since there's no fairy type and this move is so powerful and it's neutral against so many opponents, it's just a really great move. Who cares if your opponent has something that resists it? They're not immune to it, and you know, you're a freaking dragon, baby. You're hitting for 120 power, same type attack bonus. Who cares? It's still really gonna freaking hurt them. Endeavor makes your opponent's HP equal to your own. This can be good if you know a move like Extreme Speed or some kind of priority move that gets the same type attack bonus. Lower your opponent's health whenever you just barely are gonna survive an attack, and then follow up with this. Focus Sash is an excellent item to pair with this thing, especially, again, in versus where you get your held item back every single turn, you know. Sleep Talk. I like this move quite a bit. The user will use a random move they know while they're asleep. There's a such thing as rest talkers, Pokemon like Snorlax that might not learn a terribly large amount of good moves, but just learn a couple of really useful ones, might benefit from this. Skill Swap, swaps abilities with targets. For using a Slacking, you want this on one of your fast Pokemon. Snatch, you take buffs from the opponent, getting the buffs instead. It can be a little hard to predict that, but against the right team, maybe. I think Outrage is the main one that I want. Dire Hit. In Unova, it's called Dire Hit, huh? No difference. That's a localization thing that didn't really carry over because in the Japanese version, that move always had that item always had a different name, and then in this game, it didn't anymore. So they had to translate it as something weird. It's a case where translating jokes doesn't always work. Berg is an artist. He's also a gym leader in Castelia City. We want to be like him. I'll never stop admiring him. Yep, I'm only gonna keep on admiring. Don't set the bar too high, buddy. Berg used this warehouse up until 4 years ago. When Berg gets artist block, he comes back here to Nacrene City. There's a spot I have where it's like a creek where there's like waterfalls and stuff. I don't want to go into too much detail about it though, because I don't want to like give away like my location or whatever, but I like going there whenever I just need to think. It's wonderful. Maybe it'll do me some good with some of the stuff I've been having to deal with lately, like I said. Here we go. Walking on abandoned railroad tracks. Everyone does it sometimes, right? Referencing Stand By Me, just like the beginning of Pokemon Red and Blue. Stand By Me references are everywhere. Metal! A hint medal. Wait, no. I thought we were past that stage of our relationship. Don't do this to me. I heard that bones in the museum were found in Twist Mountain. Word is you can find other fossils there too. It's a hint to something we've already done. Pokemon with me right now are the ones that out of all the ones I've met so far, I've taken a particular shine to. Phew, I just read all the articles and help on the PC. You seem like an early game tutorial NPC that was not updated for this. What's help? The help system. I've never seen this menu before in my life. Show all? What? You're telling me how to continue, but... Wow, digital player ID. These websites no longer exist, you're lying to me. If only it didn't shut down your online like 40 days after your frickin' game came out every time. BattleBox, I don't use BattleBox nearly enough. That'd be a good place to stick Braviary just because I swap it in and out so much. So that did give me a good idea. I need to spend a lot of money in stores going forward. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll use them eventually. I want to have more items that I know what to do with, and with there being a medal tied to spending money, I need to be doing that. The bottom clerk is just a bunch of mail. Who cares? We don't use mail in this household, except that one time we did, but that was only because it was for a medal, so it's justified. You see, I believed it would become popular because it was a storehouse. Oh my, what a lovely trainer. What kind of Pokemon do you have? Oh, you're Sigilif. It's very friendly towards you. It must be happy with you. I think I got someone a little more friendly than that. I say as Lasagna is just sitting there poisoned all of this time twitching. Oh my, your Emboar, it's very friendly. Oh, you don't have anything more for me, okay. Pretty sure Emboar has max happiness. Some Pokemon might think it's safer to live with humans and try and survive in the harsh wilderness. Going into the whole symbiotic thing, Pokemon become stronger and they gain access to new abilities because they train with humans they would never have in the wild. I was just collecting the Pokemon I liked. Before I knew it, I had 6. Sort of how we all get started. You, Loblolly, I remember your name. I'm stuck now, I can't come up with a good design. I'm thinking about decor, so great it'll appear in a dream. She's something of a storage unit for Dream World home items. If you had any of these in your black and white save data, it is automatically carried over to black 2 and white 2. I don't, so it's completely insignificant and I do not care. Nacrene City, a pearl of a place. Not a diamond of a place. And then we got one more place up here on the right. I am a poet. I write poems. Every day I stretch my imagination and devote myself to creative activity. People dream while when sleeping, but if a Pokemon dreams, I cannot even imagine how it would be. Neither can I. Ditto, Everstone, Natures, what's the connection? Oh, you're foreshadowing some things that I'm excited to talk about. You see, practicing is sort of like eating food every day. Unless it becomes something you do without thinking about it, you'll never be great with a guitar or with Pokemon. There's some stuff that Black 2 and White 2 was incredibly influential to the series going forward that's on the note of what was talked about in there, and where do you find a storage you can't find? A warehouse! How many houses could a warehouse wear if a warehouse could wear houses? I have so much faith for the world of tomorrow if this is the youth that we are raising. Last important thing about Nacrene City is that this place shares its name with Savault Canyon in Japanese, and I like anything that reminds me of the Lake of Rage theme. The one trying to draw Smeargle's move sketch is me! Have fun with that. Nacrene Museum. There's a lot of stuff out here. Old textile storehouses are being reused as studios. How innovative. New ideas create new values, don't they? A mysterious presence can be felt here. Check the surrounding area. I'm gonna look over my shoulder in this dark of night. Ah, it sounds too cute! We need to save. Cute! Uxie is the ultimate utility tank. Sounds awfully specific? Not so at all. Uxie being a psychic type with levitate means it doesn't have to worry much about enemy types. It just sort of is neutral against so much without being bad against much of anybody. It's a safe choice. While special attack is surprisingly low compared to what you'd expect when you hear Psychic-type legendary Pokémon, it gets Calm Mind, and could use a Psychic or a Thunderbolt decently well. Yuxi learns some weird moves. Like, just so I can illustrate how many moves it could learn, we got Elemental Punches, we got Giga Drain, we got Iron Tail, which it has no business of using in any way, shape, or form. They just gave Yuxi so much. It tends to be the best when it's using status above all else. It can set up Reflect, or Substitute, or Yawn, or Light Screen, or... I personally really like U-Turn on Yuxi. Both thematic alliteration and its attack stat is the same as its special. Really, its craft is just lay down whatever you like. It can do all sorts of stuff. And you can get into a quick ball. I'm actually fighting an outdoor legendary Pokemon at nighttime so I can use a Dusk Ball. Took me long enough. And all it took was just a cafe promotion for me to learn my lesson. Here's an... Why do you have that? Why do you have that? What are you aiming at? Can use Thunder Punch a few times. Wow. I did quite a lot, but I think I'm okay to try it again. If I crit you, I could just reset. And if I don't crit you, you're at like 1 health, buddy. All right, maybe not quite 1 health. I must have gotten a good damage range the first time and not so much the second one. But you are pretty weak. We'll paralyze you next, as I have learned to use that. Just using everything I've learned all at once. Can't move. You look pretty ripe for the taking, my boy. Gonna not use everything I've learned, all but one thing. We'll use an Ultra Ball first. 0! I remember kind of not liking the fact that you just fight Yuxi in the middle of a random town somewhere. It didn't feel particularly grand or like it fit in, and then I realized that, oh yeah, it's a museum and a library. It's a place of knowledge, just like, ow! Ah! I can't yell too loud because my back muscles hurt, but I get excited. It's a problem. It's a real problem. I was saying, it's thematic, because Mesprit's in a place of emotion, as Alpha's in a place of willpower, being at the Pokemon League. It makes sense, it does. It's not quite as random as I initially took it for, because I was thinking more about the town and, you know, not seeing the, well, I guess not seeing the forest for the trees though, because the forest would be the town and the tree would be the building. So I guess I'm not seeing the trees, the trees for the forests in this case. I don't know, I feel like every saying could be interpreted backwards. 1. No! Oh, that might hurt. Yeah, Fergo. Yuxi going for Future Sight. If you're gonna announce what you're gonna do to me, then we'll swap out for Harmony. You don't seem like you can have much that you could even do to her at all, just a flail. Harmony's just getting to shine a lot in this one. I'm very proud of her. We got a lot more powerful across 2 different members of our team all in one. I've been thinking it lately. I really love this team. I really do. This adventure is so big and so grand. We're on the 90th freaking episode of this thing. 1. And our team is still getting stronger all the time. I wanted a team that would be changing so much though, so that things would stay interesting even this far in. And honestly, I think that we've succeeded in that mission pretty well. We're always getting new moves, we're trying out new strategies. There's been a couple of stumbles along the way, like not being able to land on a moveset for Pignati and just kind of switching that around though, but I think that makes him interesting in his own right, you know? And I feel like we've had times where each member of our team has been the strongest for a time. No, there hasn't really been like one team member that's always overtaking the rest. And if they do, it doesn't really last long because someone else will get access to some great new toy that comes in handy for something. Wow! I thought it was gonna be a 1. We'll try one more Dusk Ball and then start mixing it up a little bit, doing some weird stuff. 0! The smart choice never works right for me. It's always the second best choice that works well for me. Which is why I'm using a Luxury Ball. 1. Ah, would've looked good. Which is why I'm doing it again. 0! Okay, I mean business. Great ball. Oh, the Great Ball actually fails. You look good in a Premier Ball. You got mostly white on you with some red accents? No. 1, 2, 3. Pretty in pink. No. Okay, I've learned that you're not exactly the fashionable type. You tend to break out of those ones that I think would look good on you first. So let's go for an absolutely hideous choice that you have no colors in common with at all. You hate everything! Just like an intellectual contrarian. Maybe this place is more thematically fitting. You are right near a cafe after all. It's been a while. We'll try a timer ball. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Uxie, the knowledge Pokemon. When Uxie Fluxie, people gain the ability to solve problems. It was the birth of knowledge. What do you need us to train you for if you're the embodiment of all of mankind's knowledge? Doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? Okay, so that is everything in Nacrene City except for the museum. With a legendary Pokemon in our pocket, I think we're gonna stop there. Next time on Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, we go in. See you guys then. And yeah, this was the right choice.